Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rosie Convoy show featuring Jason Benbridge from State of the Nation. It's nice to have you guys here. Welcome, welcome. Happy Valentine's Day.
Representing the other flag, happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, actually, technically we have three, right? Because you're in Vietnam and everything. So
Yeah. New Zealand is sort of the end of heading towards the late afternoon on Valentine's Day. We're in the morning, obviously, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you guys have not quite kicked into. Yes. Oh,
yep,
you're in Happy Valentine's Day now. That was yesterday for us. That's right. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's fully Valentine's Day
Mm.
today, and
Valentino and the great lovers are out in force.
yeah, we might not have a lot of people watching because hopefully they're out on like special dates and whatnot. Maybe who knows?
Yep. Now
Who
we
knows?
expanding the pure blood nation.
All that unvaccinated hanky panky going on tonight.
Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, there's some like awesome stuff. Like in New Zealand, there's actually a pure blood dating group now on
I've
Facebook.
I've seen those groups pop up. Yes, there's definitely have their own groups going, dating apps. So
Yep.
anyway, welcome, Jason. How's Vietnam treating you today lately?
Vietnam's good. Vietnam's great. I went over to Cambodia over the weekend. Check out Phnom Penh. I was originally going to go to a place called Bavet, which is right by the border here. And I was going to go and check that. It's like or the casino area.
Mhm.
But my compatriot didn't make it that far, so I went all the way into Phnom Penh, which is from the border is about a 4.5 hour bus ride. So at the moment, travel is unrestricted. There are no COVID requirements whatsoever. I'm pretty sure that's the standard across the board now. I'm really interested in checking out the Philippines. Like I'm having withdrawal symptoms from the Philippines. It's actually a lot of fun. They always say it's more fun in the Philippines, and
Didn't know
it's
that.
true. Yep, it's true.
Pardon me. So of course you would know that. You've been there.
Mm.
So tonight's topic, the World Unity Convoy Food Drive. So we have guests. We're still waiting to hear back from Colin Big Bear, but we have Jamie Whitmore in the backstage the area. So so do you want to tell us a little bit about, because I know New Zealand, you guys are, or they're organizing a food drive as well.
Yeah, I was kind of saving it for another guest, but things have been going haywire in New Zealand with the cyclone and all sorts of craziness going on. So right now, the food drive is actually really necessary. So what I have done is I observed what the Canadians are doing with the convoy, and I put out a little poll out I made a group on Facebook. I made a group, and I put a poll out there if people wanted to have a convoy as well as a food drive or both, and I got people to vote on it. And
Mhm.
58% said that gasoline was too expensive and let's just have a food drive. So, of course, New Zealand's being caught up in this fuel crisis, the increase of prices of fuel, the closing of Marsden Point, and of course the severe lack of ships, and they're basically operating in the smell of an oily rag at this point. So I went ahead and I took that portion of the convoy, the Canadian convoy. I took the food drive portion and created the World Unity Food Drive in New Zealand, and of course also helped Jamie set up the Canadian one as well. We just call it international, the
Right.
international group. So got that sorted out, put together a video explainer of what it is, and set up an RSVP website. So people that wanted to be what we call ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
Ambassadors are folks who they volunteer to designate their house as a drop-off location. Throughout the weekend, we'll be using the social media networks to send people their way to drop off food, any goods. Now that we've got the cyclone come through and the massive flooding in the past few weeks, a lot of people are actually missing more than food now. People got everything in their house basically destroyed, if they lived on a single floor dwelling. So if they were caught up in a flood area, then they were basically, most people would have had to evacuate, or there's a lot of water damage to their house, and
Heard
they've lost a lot of things. Yeah.
a lot of the crops have been, a lot of the fields have been decimated by it. So yeah, and it's definitely food shortages is something that everybody will feel, coming. So that's definitely something that unites everybody. So we've got Jamie in the backstage. He is literally right now. He is on the World Unity Convoy, headed to Sault Ste. Marie. So I will be bringing him on. So without further ado, oh wait, he's not backstage anymore. the Yeah, no.
Technical difficulties. We'll just blame it on our dude.
We'll always blame any technical difficulties on Jacinda. We have Canadian Unfiltered here in the comments asked, do you know how much a liter is? How much is gas in New Zealand? How much per liter?
I can check it out, but it's somewhere in the ballpark of over $3 a liter, which is a bit bizarre. It can fluctuate anywhere now. I haven't checked recently, but we're looking at around $2.50 to $3 a liter, which is unheard of. I mean, I remember going back to 89 cents a liter and all that, but I also keep up to date with the gasoline price here, and it's what we used to pay, years ago. It's very low. It's very low. It's just over a buck a liter, a buck 10 a liter here in Vietnam and Cambodia, Southeast Asia. So we're not feeling that because the region is committed to not follow down this path of self-suicide, economic suicide,
right,
of their peoples. And I don't think they could handle 100 million people in a revolutionary state.
Apparently it's $1.70 a liter.
So away from all this.
That's in Vancouver. I'm in Port Hope, and if we go to the res, then it's like $1.30 or something. So it makes it worth it just to drive to the reservation to fill up there at the gas stations there. So, but yeah, still no Jamie in the back.
This is it. Yeah, this is the thing. There was that big train derailment in Ohio. I don't know if hasn't been on the news and stuff, but
no.
They've done two very terrible things with that. There are two very terrible outcomes from that. Number one is they had about 5 train loads of dangerous chemicals, polyvinyl something or other. I was checking it out last evening. And when you burn that, they burnt it off. They decided to burn it off, the excess chemicals that were spilled over. So they just decided to burn it off. But the outcome of burning off that stuff is acid. It's CO2, CH2. Hydrochloric acid, that's it. Hydrochloric acid is the result of burning that off. So that's going to get into the clouds. And then when the rain starts, and people are outraged by it. I mean, there's basically a death cloud of hydrochloric acid over Ohio, and that's going to get into all the water. And because it bonds with the water molecules, it's going to get into everything that's a liquid. It's in a liquid state, and it's going to affect all the farmlands in that area because it's a bit of a breadbasket down there, right? So,
Right.
If they weren't intentionally trying to destroy the food system, you've got to kind of like have a log for brains, a bit of 2x4, a 4x2 up there instead of an actual functioning organism. What's that thing? That thing. So pretty terrible what they've done. So that's the two outcomes. Number one, they're going to have or this acid fall on them in rain. They're gonna have acid rain, okay, and that stuff burns through everything. It burns through everything. The fish have already started to die off. The animals have already started to die off, and this thing has been out of the media for quite some time. 2 weeks it's been going on, and the mainstream media is just not picking up on it. You'd think that a Chernobyl size event would be cause for worry, but no, 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 no. Let's focus on hot air balloons, shall we? And
Right.
pretend that it's a fake invasion from aliens. No, 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 no. Don't look at that over there. Look at our balloon. You know, check out the balloon. Yeah,
Ooh,
I love that
balloon.
meme. I love that Trudeau meme of the balloon. When it says it's Chinese spying. No problem. Oh, freedom, freedom. Shoot it down. Shoot
Yeah.
it down. It says freedom.
Yeah.
Shoot it down.
Uh,
Terrible.
no, and it doesn't make sense either because they're so concerned about the environment. I mean, that's why they're, virtue signaling. Oh, well, we have to like do so much and we have to save the
I'm
environment.
just
And
grabbing. I think Jamie's gone.
yeah, Jamie was, he said that the reception is pretty bad where he's at, the cell phone reception. So, so it might just be us for Valentine's.
Between two dating flags. Yeah, I'm just sending a quick message to Jamie. He must have gone through some low connection area, out of range area, because he is on the road. He is in the middle of a convoy.
I
So
know.
while we're waiting for him, um, okay, let's get an idea. I mean, you know a bit more about this convoy than I do because we voted to focus on food deliveries instead because of our particular situation. But what do you know about the convoy so far? When did it set off, and where did it set off from?
Well, they've set off. The East Coast set off yesterday, and the West Coast set off yesterday as well. So as far as I know, there's a bunch of people there. The West Side are meeting in Calgary in Alberta, and I believe the East Side is that's where they're headed into right now. Is I want to say Sault Ste. Marie, but I know I'm mispronouncing it. Sault Ste. Marie. I apologize. I'm not. Yeah, I haven't been on Ontario long enough to learn all the words. There was one town we stayed in called Marmora, and it took me forever to learn how to say it because I just wanted to do that Mana Mana song. Right. See, I just Marmora. So it wasn't Marmora. So um yeah, so the food drive, that is exciting that I really, really respect and appreciate that they're doing that because it is more than a convoy. It's meant to bring people together and help each other out. So the fact that they're doing it is very respectable, and honestly, I wish more of that was being talked about instead of, just, you know,
Instead of all the
um
other nonsense.
squabbling like
Mm.
the indigenous flag being recognized or being told like, oh, it's a Nazi flag because it has the symbol in it, and it's just there's been a lot of lot of deflection and distraction wherever we go, and it's
Yeah. It just goes to show how illiterate most people are. I mean, I walk two houses down. I walk past it, and there's a big. Well, it's not the Nazi flag. It's an ancient
Tibet.
symbol.
Yeah,
It's
the
an
Tibet.
ancient Tibetan symbol for Buddhism.
Right.
It's a religious symbol, and it was used and reversed by the Nazi Party. So they're going to get triggered every time they walk past um, two houses down because there's a gigantic one. There's two of them on the fence, and they are the Tibetan symbol of religion.
Hmm.
In most of Asia, it's a symbol of religion. So they co-opted that for their own benefit. So and they've turned a very simple message into something extremely complicated. And but no, that symbol is the traditional symbol um, I guess it's Buddhism, or I think it's Buddhism, but yes, an Asian religions, Asian philosophy. So yeah, so that's really silly that people are really focusing on things, and it just goes to show that how illiterate people really are in reality.
Mhm.
Yeah, the echo chamber. They'll just jump in on the echo chamber, like, oh my God, they're Nazis! Yeah, they're Nazis! Even though the
Right.
Nazis are the ones that have pulled this entire scam off over the past 3 years. In reality, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I go ahead.
it's amazing how quickly people will just jump onto an idea and then run with it without actually like researching it or, looking into it in any degree. So it's a little bit discouraging, but I'm
That
so
that
glad
is.
Convoy is still happening, that it's still a go. They tried to spread the rumor that it had been canceled. So a lot of people were confused. They're like, is it on? Is it not? Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Is it on? Is it not? And
French.
people thought like they backed out, they changed their plan, and then it was supposed to be going to Ottawa, and then that got changed, and so then it was like, nope, absolutely confirmed. And Walter Hebert, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, he did a live. He went on live and explained, no, this is a go. It is happening. Everybody is welcome. And then there was a whole other thing where uh, there are people saying that, well, it's a religious event, so like if you don't believe in God, you're not welcome. So there was a whole bunch of people upset about that. They're like, well, I believe in God, or I don't. I'm an atheist, or I'm agnostic, therefore I can't go. And it was like, no, 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 everyone is welcome. But it's just crazy how these rumors have just been flying around. Absolutely crazy, and then just, oh,
Mm.
instead of asking it or going to the source, it's just gets spread some more. And it's this convoy is definitely, and apparently before Jamie's cell service cut out, he was explaining how the cops were following them, that they were at every single stop that they were making. There was a huge police presence, you know, because like what are we going to do? Oh, well, we're
Mm.
driving, it's a convoy. Well, we got to keep an eye on the convoy. Okay, well, no, you don't have to, but in order to make everything look really bad, for the newspapers, for, the fear mongering, it's very important to have the cops there because, you know, world unity convoy and food drive, oh, well, we got to keep an eye on that, helping your fellow man and bringing unity and healing. Oh, ooh,
Oh,
you know,
shocking! It's terrible. Absolutely shocking. No, can't have that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was quite impressed by that notion of doing the convoy, but as they go through all the locations, all the main city centers, that they're going to be collecting the food, right?
Hmm.
And that's what inspired me to get this done here, is that because we know that we're already in a little bit further down the track here. Although it's quite interesting how somehow, just since we started talking about the similarities between our countries, they've started diverging away from each other now. Isn't it just like so conveniently placed, you know? So
Comment
yeah,
here that says Saturday, February 18th, Family Freedom Day, noon till 6 p.m. in Ottawa, Canada. So on the Hill at Parliament. So there is an event this Saturday on the 18th in Ottawa. People are welcome to attend, of course. And of course, was already a heavy police presence there last week because we were staying in Ottawa last week, and it's amazing. They have to bring. There were apparently on the anniversary of the convoy in Parliament, there was a cop for every freedomer. So I mean, it made the crowd look bigger, but was it necessary? No, not really. But it sure looks good in the papers to make us look like bad guys. So you can
yeah,
understand why they're doing that.
exactly the way that the media
Yeah.
just skewing it, of course, you know. So what we've got so far here in New Zealand is we've got about 4 or 5 drop-off locations so far. It's not as many as I would have hoped, but I'm hoping that we can pull something out over the weekend because I did set it up weeks in advance. Like I think it was like 4 weeks in advance, and then I had to deal with our own uh, viral explosion here at our house. Nothing to do with COVID-19, of course. It was more. It was an animal related one, natural animal related one. So we had that, and yeah, so just I did a big touch base, and the ambassadors are getting back to me now with their location addresses. So we're starting to rebuild the list again. So I'm hoping that by the end of just today's Wednesday in New Zealand. So by the end of Thursday, we'll have a complete list ready for publication on Friday, and then on Saturday we can go out and hit them, and people will be taking their little photographs of the donations and all that, and they'll be loading it up to our website. Which, by the way, I'll just do a quick share of that website for you.
Yes,
Let me
please.
just quickly find it. World Unity Food Drive. There it is. Do I have to, was I making a comment? I don't know, but I'm going to leave that page. I think I was making a comment. I'm pretty sure I finished. Isn't it funny how Facebook does that? It's like, you made a comment. Yeah, but I finished it. Oh, keep
Yeah, Facebook's
commenting.
been kind of funny lately, especially with the convoy happening. Apparently, a lot of people that are in the convoy or working with it, their Facebook isn't letting them go live. So, oh, we have a guest in the back. Oh, thank goodness. Let me see. Oh,
It's
it's
me. It's my other me.
it's just you, Jason.
It's just me. The other half of me. I'm just going to present that. Presenting a share screen. And don't show no. I like seeing those tips. Okay, share the screen. And then I'm going to share this, well, system audio in case I need it for later. That's why I couldn't get the sound last week,
Oh, okay.
because I'd forgotten to click on that little thing. So we got the World Unity Food Drive, which I'm sharing. There we are.
Okay.
There we are. That's
I've
our
got
Facebook page.
the screen up already. So, what are we doing on the this one
Okay.
here? I had my
It's
moderator last week tell me to bring it up full screen. So I'm gonna
yeah.
try.
It's black. Please start Irium webcam. I think what you're doing is you're sharing my camera. You're not sharing my actual present. Check out my present. That's my actual camera from the other computer.
Oops. Whoop.
There should be a sharing because I'm sharing on StreamYard.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
There's two back here. Okay, so that should be it right here. Okay, there's the Facebook.
there we are.
There you are.
So
Yes,
excuse
the
me, just a moment. I'm just going to cough.
full screen. There we go. Okay, so
All
this
right,
is
so here we have. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say this is the World Unity Food Drive, the New Zealand page that you started up a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and this is the one that you said you had the poll. You took polls, and people decided that instead of a convoy to pick up food, it was right there. It was easier to have a drop-off location or two.
Yeah, well, New Zealand has been suffering with exuberant food prices. Oops, that was the wrong one. That's my personal Facebook page. That's Emerson Musham. Okay, let's see what's happened here. Try and click on that, get that open. There we go, permalink. There we are. All right, so what we got is these are our votes. We got 58%. 58% said that they prefer a local food drive with no convoy only. Petrol is too expensive. So of course we go with the majority of what people wanted. We got a pretty good following from we should go all the way and raise mass awareness by doing both. Not bad, 35% trailing on behind.
That's
And
not bad.
it's not so bad, really, isn't it? And I prefer a national food drive in the form of a convoy for each island only was only 6%. So you can see, yeah, and here I really wanted to gauge what was on people's minds. I didn't just want to come up with like, oh, we got a convoy, and then because we are suffering a closure of our own oil refinery. So that's quite the difference between New Zealand and Canada at the moment. Although you are experiencing high prices and stuff, and one person wanted to make a monetary donation. Well, that'd
Oh
be
wow.
wonderful. That'd be wonderful, Monica. Um, let's hope that we can get some food first, and then although myself personally, we don't personally raise any money. we've never been in that business, although people have used our groups to support movements in the past. So they have raised funds for goody things. So yeah, so going back to the main page here, you will find that the title, here we are, okay. The title is World Unity Food Drive New Zealand. Okay, so you can come onto the Facebook if you're in New Zealand. Come onto Facebook, check it out, become a member. And then I'm asking people to DM me some significant stuff going on in New Zealand. You know, like people have been watching all these chicken farms burn down in the US, right? So they've been watching it for quite a while, you know, and then lo and behold, how can these chicken farms accidentally catch on fire around the world at the same time?
Right.
Right? I mean,
Look
again, a bit of
at the
two by
balloon.
four.
Look at the alien balloon. Don't look at the
Yeah,
chicken farm.
look at the aliens. Don't worry about that. Yep, don't worry about that. You're gonna run out of food or chickens, or you need to start an egg cartel. No, don't do that. You need to look at the balloon.
You need to look
Right?
at the sky. Keep your head in the clouds, guys.
It reminds me of that song 99 Red Balloons, the German one.
That was actually a meme. Somebody made
Yeah.
it into a meme saying somebody had actually already predicted this in the 80s, and then it had a picture of, of course, the singer from
Well,
99 Luftballons.
that song was actually about the Cold War, wasn't it? It was actually about the Cold War. That song, I believe, the English version. It's a build up of what they were experiencing during the Cold War. So it's actually a very political song. So now we're going to call it 99. What do we call it? 99 clone. I don't know what kind of balloons they are. 99 white balloons. 99 Tic Tac balloons. There you go.
99 Chinese spy balloons.
Yeah, 99 Chinese spy balloons.
Hi, the Chad. The Chad is in the chat here. He says, "Hi, Jason.
Hi, Chad.
Are you able to pull up the international group?
Yes,
Because
indeedy.
we talked about that. So Jason made a parallel group for international that we're sharing in Canada here. And so there should be some stuff. We never ended up doing a poll because the World Unity Convoy was happening already, had already been planned, and was already doing a food drive as part of it. So therefore, there was no need to do a poll. Everybody was supporting the food drive. But yeah, so if you guys want to check out the World Unity Food Drive International, that's this is the Facebook page where we'll have more information. We're posting things about the World Unity Convoy on it, just the things that are happening around the world that are affecting the farmers, things around the world that are affecting food shortages, that are causing food shortages. So feel free to go onto Facebook and check it out, and become a member if you want. Share it around, and we'll try to keep it updated. Of course, Walter Hebert's always posting on it, which I love.
Yeah, his daily quotes are cool.
They are. So we've got our poster there. Be nice if we had the guests now that we featured on the poster. I was really looking forward to having Colin Big Bear. But we can't. I mean, if Jacinda Ardern is causing cell phone, right?
I'm sure she's causing a cell phone blockage. Connection error. Blame Ardern.
Oh, that video just passed. That video you just passed. That was where Walter Hebert had to go live and explain that the World Unity Convoy is happening. That it hasn't.
Well, shall we play that, because some people may not have seen it? So shall we play it?
Yep, I'll make it. Yep, let's put it on.
Let me just put it into a wide screen, enlarge it. Can you hear that? Could you hear that okay?
Yep, heard it just great. Yeah, the nice laugh. I miss those guys.
I'm just going to make it widescreen so we can watch the whole thing.
Good morning, everyone. I'm trying to be serious here, and you're just starting. I see you.
Oh boy, I'm not used to this now.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, and please like, share, Share the video. Hey, sharing is caring. Let's share it out to other groups. We're going to share it here too. Today, I have with me the famous Remington Steel. Guys, leave all their hearts and their thumbs up. That's what we need. I'm going to share that here. And
Carter Mannix is watching.
so,
Good morning, beautiful Carla.
very, very good. And guys, share it out all together. And I'm going to quickly. Jack, maybe you want
in the
to.
house. Good morning, my friends and family.
Good morning. Good morning, whoever is out there in La La Land.
La La Land.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm still in La La Land. I'm not quite awake yet, but
Oh, really? How many cups do you need to get awake?
I don't know. Probably 3, right?
You had already 3.
Four was it?
No, I'm on 3.
Oh, you're on 3.
I'm on 3.
Yeah, but you need another 4.
Where's my coffee?
I don't know. Where is it?
I think I left it on the table over there.
Well, you have to go get your coffee. I'm quickly
Or
sharing.
do you need another one?
No, I'll get it.
You get your coffee. I'm quickly going to share this out here. And guys, I want you to please share this. We have some more information today, what we want to talk about a little bit. And
There it is.
So they're currently just sharing their information out before they go live and all that. So that's kind of what we do.
Yeah,
The
once
first
they
5 minutes, the first 5 minutes is a bit of a jump around, and people sort of come online.
yeah, I'm the good-looking one here, so with all of them. There
I'll
we
turn it.
go. There we go. And just
Hard out
share it
sharing.
out here quickly.
I know that's what they do. They go live, and then as soon as they go live, they take the first few minutes and they share it everywhere.
Yes, that is what we want to try.
It's
We want
probably
to try
pretty
to do a
effective.
comedian show here.
All right.
And,
But yeah,
well,
these are
first thing
great
you have to
people.
do
I
first,
haven't
you have to
actually
tell
met
us
Remington Steele yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Someday I'll meet him. But we are Facebook friends. But of course, Walter, I'm Facebook friends with. Have been for almost a year now. I met him last April. So, and apparently
Awesome
I was.
family.
They're such good hearts, like super, super loving and genuine human
here,
beings.
and that way we know more.
You share away. I'll share a little. We had a
Here we go.
semi-good day of work here at the camp yesterday. We got some really good volunteers out, and we got a lot of metal put on the building. And today it's a go, go, go again. We hope to have the roof completely tinned, the walls completely tinned today. There's a lot of work to be done here. We got what?
We need people to split wood.
We got 4 days.
And we need younger people that can climb on the roof, right?
Yeah, and they're coming today, I hope. I think this afternoon they're coming. So, but anybody out there,
There comes somebody.
There's always things to do out here. It's a little overwhelming when you come on the yard and you look around and you go, looks like a tornado went through here. But we're gonna.
We need people to clean up the tornado.
We're gonna get that stuff taken care of and cleaned up, and we've got a few days to go, so we'll go hard. But yeah,
Go hard or go home.
things are coming together. Had a little bit of a meeting this morning. I'm sure Walter will talk about that. But
If you ever get
So how was your experience yesterday with all this, when you see this coming together, Jeff, and you see people are coming out and all that? Like, how do you feel about this? And then where we see where God does different things. So like, how do you feel about this?
well, it's definitely overwhelming. People coming together to make something happen is overwhelming, and it's exciting at the same time. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to next week. I know it's all going to come together, no matter how much needs to be done. When it gets here, it gets here. What's done is done, and you throw a whack of people into the mix, and yippee skippy.
That is exactly, and the good part about this whole thing, it is the more people you put together, the better it gets, And one thing I would really like to talk about, Jeff, is about we see the negativity and all that coming together. And one thing is, I would really like to encourage each and every one, guys, go what is in your heart. If you don't know to leave any good comments, please don't leave any comments then. Put good comments. Like Maria always says, think. Maria, like think before you do something. Maria, spell think.
T stands for is it true? H is it helpful? I is it necessary? I is important. N is necessary. And K is it kind? If it's true, helpful, important, necessary, and kind, then you can text whatever message that. If it's not none of those, then don't do nothing at all.
That is correct, and that is what's think, like when you think about something. That is what this whole thing is about. And
Absolutely. I mean, and really, if you want to get jacked up,
That's actually very much my philosophy as well. On our series of groups and stuff, we get very few trolls now because of our attitude towards them. If just what I say, if it's if it's true, if it's helpful, is it important, is it necessary, and is it kind? Just don't bother, so we don't have a lot of them there.
Yeah, it's kind of a zero
yesterday,
tolerance, but no, it's
wanna
it's
thank her.
fantastic. I want to know what she's got in her tea. She's got the giggles. I'm just kidding.
Catnip. Here we go. That looks
and
serious.
Tamara Woods, she is such a kind girl. And she is so supportive of Camp Hope too. And she laid it
She
out
always
yesterday.
says freedom. If you hear that, then you know there is something good.
And she laid it out yesterday. Very, very nice too. And that's what I would like to ask you guys. What are you doing, guys? This fight, what is going on there? This is this, that is that. If I put something on there, what we are requesting from Camp Hope, do we want to show the whole world that we know how to fight? Like, Jeff, because the whole world is watching this. And there's more and more people watching this. This is not a party place coming together, let's party and drink. This is not. This is where we want to come together. We want to listen to speakers. We want to unite again. We want to celebrate the Convoy, the 1 year anniversary. And also, we want to stand up for Agenda 2030. We want to stand up for the chip. They want to put the chip in us for the healthcare. We want to stand up for the 15-minute cities. We have to stand up for that. We have to educate us about it. And what are we doing? Jeff, there's so much fight about everything. And the fight goes about little things. Oh, you are better than I am. Oh, you know what?
I am better than you.
Damn, I knew you would say that. I knew it.
No, we are not better than you and me. We are all equal.
Okay. I thought this was a comedian show.
Yeah.
It is. We are all equal. Nobody's better than
But
others.
have you
Hey.
always looked at my book, how good I am?
No.
Well, see, my level was pretty damn good.
Okay.
But something smells already.
Watching this,
No,
movie,
but that is what I mean, you know?
But absolutely. There is, I mean,
Can you repeat that?
Oh, I said this watching them all, this camaraderie and this joy that these guys have. It just really makes me wish I was actually going to Winnipeg with the World Unity Convoy and staying at Camp Hope, because these guys are just, they know where it's at. They know where it's at. Their hearts are definitely pure. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Built the same, we'd have way more infighting. But people out there just need to know that the end goal is all the same. We're all wanting to have freedom for one another, for the future, for our children, for our grandchildren, and their children, because
we are getting company. So what we want to do, we have to get off of here.
we are.
Yes, because we have company coming here and very important.
Well, there goes my speech for today.
Exactly. But
Just
we
do
want to
it
do
later.
later we want to do a live from the camp.
Okay.
We want to do a live from the camp, and that is where we want to do that. And just I want to invite each and every one to come. The February the 16th in the evening, we will have a pig roast. The convoy is coming in on the 16th.
Yep.
And 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, everybody is invited. Every day, there is going to be something every day. So thank you very much, guys. May God bless you.
And we will see you next week.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
All right. So there you go. So that's all on. So there is no change for the World Unity Convoy people. If you've been given misinformation or or been told that there are a bunch of Nazis running it, then you're quite
Kia ora
wrong.
koutou katoa.
Indeed. Oop.
Good morning, everyone. Well, we've been through a time, haven't we? Never seen anything like this Cyclone Gabrielle before. But what we
Actually, this is really interesting. We'll come back to this in a minute. I wouldn't mind hearing about this. Is Hastings District Council, their report on Cyclone Gabrielle. Now, obviously, Gabriel was not looking forward to that. Our own Gabriel was not looking forward to that. But yeah, it got hit. Some places were hit pretty hard. I'm pretty sure some vehicles got lost in a newly formed swamp that was created on highways. Yeah, I saw a couple of personal pics of people, and their cars were like submerged, and like there were like 4 or 5 cars, completely submerged. One was on its side, even. So definitely, there's been some damage done by that. So, yeah, yeah.
Apparently, there's a firefighter that's missing too from a landslide. So, and there's entire hedges of full trees that have been completely uprooted. So yeah, we're doing the convoy here in Canada, and we are really blessed, honestly blessed, that we're not dealing with these kind of environmental, phenomenon. Because this cyclone, like I've seen some of the satellite pictures of it, and it's just almost the entire 2 islands is just completely covered in this swirling cloud. And so I'm hoping that Papa Jones can come on if he gets the message and gets the reminder, because he did go live today and say that he was going to be coming on. So I'm still hoping he does. But if not, yeah, the food drive, it's such an important topic. It's such an important issue that's affecting everybody. I mean, it's the one thing, honestly, it's definitely one thing that can unite the left and the right, the top and the bottom, everybody who is going to feel this food shortage, everyone who is in need of just basic food. That we're addressing it, that it's important that we address it, no matter which country we live in. It's something that will unite all of us. We are all going to feel it, especially when everything that's happening with the farmers, Agenda 2030. It's just a matter of time before I even heard that they're going to shorten the season, like the growing season. So, like, well, what does that do for crops? You can't force crops to ripen faster. You can't force them. And so if you cut the short, the planting season or the harvest season, what can we do? What can we do? Like in Canada here, with the Environmental Protections Police already going to farms, and being given the power to just shut down any farm or any piece of machinery that they see that they think is going to cause more environmental damage. And yet, like we mentioned earlier, that train derailed and they just burn off the chemical. It's just, the hypocrisy is just mind-blowing. Hi, Tina. I just want to say hi, Tina.
If a person wasn't of sound body, sound mind, and sound spirit, and they were to, take a good hard look at what's happened since the end of 2019, 2020, with the start of the bear bug, the Mexican bear bug starting off, the mandating out of work for the transport industry and the food industry, and of course the health industry. Then the constant attacks on the food industry with all these production plants being burned to the ground. Then we've got a full-on intensive conflict going on in that country above China, near Poland. Those two places. Um, that and now we're getting basically weather wars, essentially. I guess what I could call it. Looks like we're getting weather wars. So if you weren't really prepared mentally for all of this stuff, doing this would be like a mental gymnastics process for people, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh my God, this is like definitely Armageddon. This is the end. This is over." But for a lot of us who have been following this from quite a while, for years now, over a decade, we kind of get the idea of what's going to happen. We don't know exactly what's going to happen unless we're Alex Jones, because he seems to know everything. So, but then again, he does do all the reading. He has done all the research, and you can't find too many people that have done so much deep research into all of this, and it's clearly written out. But the way they've gone about doing it, is just like thumbing down the population under pressure, under pressure, under pressure, under pressure. Don't relieve the pressure. Don't relieve the pressure. Keep them down, keep them down, keep them down. And this is their tactic. This is the way that I see that they've been playing this charade. It's been just a process of keeping people built in constant fear 24/7 and keeping the pressure on them. And I'm pretty sure long term they're hoping for society to trigger a collapse and to go into fully localized. I don't know what you call it, revolution, but a form of uprising in some form. But that's not going to help at all, because that's only playing into their hands, because they want people to have that violent reaction. They don't want people to have a calm and responsible reaction where people can understand that certain people need to go to court, need to go to trial, need to suffer a verdict where there is guilty, and they need to pay reparations, and we need to get this planet back on track, and we need to take the mainstream media to task, get them reformed so they're actually serving the people for a change. And then we wouldn't have to be running around setting up food drives, setting up convoys, doing all of this work, which nobody gets paid for, right? Nobody in the freedom movement ever gets paid a dime, except the ones that are constantly asking for donations. And most of those people are the ones who are actually causing the division in the first place. They're the ones who are trying to dominate the system. They're trying to game the system, basically. And they're after followers, and they're after likes, and they're after donations. Whereas there's a lot of really sensible people who are doing all of this work behind the scenes, and they're not asking for any money. They're just doing it because without doing that, without putting in the effort, without cooperating, we're not going to get very far at all in this. We'll actually end up in their dystopian, I guess what they call it, a new world order. I guess in this dystopian future where like there are no freedoms, and you'll eat the bugs and you'll be happy. Which I did eat bugs, by the way, on the weekend. I ate them in Cambodia for the first time. I ate a black cockroach, which was really bizarre, in a Turkish restaurant of all places. I was in.
How was it?
It was just buggy. It bugged me really. Well, no, I just took a couple of these little, because I wanted to know what was it all about. Apparently, they're full of protein. Tried it, and I said, well, need some spice at least, No flavor, just like a squishy thing with no flavor. A slightly bland, but
Crunchy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
Yeah, a little bit of crunch there, and yeah. So I ate a bug, but I tell you what, I prefer a steak. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. A steak isn't slimy yet satisfying. Lion King. It was Timon and Lion King who said slimy yet sad. Oh no, it was Pumbaa. Sorry, Pumbaa said slimy yet satisfying. Sorry.
Those
But
those little bugs, the hoo-hoo grubs, I think we call them in New Zealand hoo-hoo grubs. Little bugs, they grow about this big, and they look like the marshmallow, sort of the marshmallow man, the Goodyear.
the Michelin Man,
The Michelin Man, there you go, the Michelin Man, or the from the movie Ghostbusters, the Marshmallow Man.
the Stay Puft
That was the Michelin Man, wasn't it? That was the Michelin Man, I think. That
No,
ghost.
in Ghostbusters, it was the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
Oh,
But
modeled off. I'm pretty sure it was modeled off the Michelin Man. Yeah, they
I think
probably
so too.
got some sponsorship there for the production. But yeah, just we down it, and there you go. So, but Cambodia, I found out, has actually been quite famous for bug eating and all that. Uh, that Angelina Jolie, that one. Her father's quite interesting, actually. They're completely the opposite, Angelina Jolie and her father. She's a Democrat, far left. One of these mouthpieces for the mainstream. And her father, completely opposite. He's Republican. He even supports Trump. But anyway, she's famous because she hangs out in Cambodia, probably adopting kids for Epstein, Epstein's operation, and eating and frying up tarantulas. Yeah, frying up tarantulas and eating them in Cambodia.
I think I saw a video, or I didn't watch it, but I saw it come up. But yeah, she had her kids around her, and they were munching on these, tarantulas.
Tarantulas. I mean, ugh, ugh. My dogs eat scorpions, but um, we don't go out and hunt them and cook them up. Although it's cuisine, and this goes down to a lot of the insects that were sold in China during what they call the Great Reformation. And in China, they call it Beijing famine cuisine. So you can still buy it in Beijing. You can still buy it. It's a variety of dishes with only insects because there was a great famine during that time, and millions of people died because of the famine. This is the advert of communism and socialism. This is what happens when they get their hands on a government of a country. They go through and they strip it of its food. Sounds familiar. They strip it of its food and resources, and then they go after the farmers and the academics. And so they get rid of all these farmers. They hang the farmers. In the modern world, they buy them out. Basically, in the modern world, they will buy them out, and then they will put these socialists in control. That's my cat, by the way. Sorry about the bell in the background. They get the socialist controllers to start running these production operations, and they don't know anything about food production, and then they make massive miscalculations, and then they contribute even more to the famine. And this is the state that we're heading into globally. You can see this very clearly. We're heading into, especially the European nations and the Commonwealth nations. They're trying to avoid. That's why the people are out on the streets. They're trying to avoid a worldwide famine because this is what these people have been creating for us: is a global famine. So luckily, recently, there have been a lot of countries that have done a U-turn on it, which is great. Nations are starting to wake up. So it's coming down to the situation where the WEF is starting to be isolated, even heckled now. So that's a very interesting outcome. The fact that now it's coming out in mainstream, people are getting questioned and all that. But of course, they want to roll us out for the next big pandemic, WHO. So there's still a lot more in this. There's still a lot more. I think we're only at the beginning of it. It's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper, but we'll be here. We'll be here informing people all the way.
That's right. We'll be here between two flags.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Between two flags and a few famines as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something that'll either, bring us all together or, I just hope that people wake up enough to see what's happening. It is exhausting. I've been feeling it a lot lately, just like the doom and gloom is just like it's hard to fight it off, because it's like you said, we're just at the beginning now, and this is
Mm.
definitely something that is probably going to be going on long after I'm gone. It'll just so I'm just, as long as we all do our part, and we do our best to stay hopeful, and keep the love alive, of love for a fellow man, because when you're facing terrible times, it's easy to become selfish, and to not see
Mm.
other people as also in the same boat. It's just like, no, it's me, and I'm struggling, forget everybody else. But I think it's important that we always remember that we are in this together. It doesn't matter where we are in the world, we're all in this together, because that's it's their plan to take us all down, so it should be our plan to like bring us all back up. So
Well, the thing is, we could always just agree to cooperate, and then we'd be living in a very limited world, to be honest. I mean, they could turn this whole thing off as long as we all get vaccinated. We get a long-term death sentence, a slow long-term death sentence, so long as we stop reproducing, um, so long as we don't mind being told what to think, what to say. So long as we don't mind all of that, we'll be happy as Larry with our football and our beer and our credit cards, and we'll be completely happy, with digital currencies that don't reflect anything, that are not hedged on anything, that there's no monetary value. I put out in my documentary in 2012, 2013, well, 2012, 2013. So 10 years from now, that the economics, the financial system comes from a set of beliefs, right? So if you believe a piece of gold is worth what it is in the marketplace, say 2,500 an ounce, but if you believe that, then that's what it's worth. So the entire consciousness is changing now. So we've gone from hard currencies, gold, fiat currencies, and now we're going to digital currencies, which means that they get that finger on the money printer nonstop. There's no end to their power once that rolls in. So there's a lot of this stuff. People just got to keep at it. They got to keep at it, and they've got to normify their content as well. They have to normify their content so that people who are still sleeping in the background can actually get on board and can actually think about it with you. It's got to be normified. We say normified. It's got to
normie
be
fine.
normified so they can actually sit down and listen. Yelling and screaming at a camera in the middle of a forest, or doesn't really attract people's attention. It attracts them in the sense that they're noisy, but they're drowning themselves in the message. They're drowning the message out. Yeah. So we just got to keep pumping away at it.
I saw a sign a couple of weeks ago in Port Hope when I did the live from the overpass at the 401, when we were supporting the convoy going through for the 1-year anniversary. There was a sign that somebody had, and it said, freedom is not a reward for compliance. And that really struck me. You can comply all you want, and go with all the narratives, but that's not freedom. You're not being
Mm,
rewarded with freedom. And
that's right.
it's definitely quite the illusion that they've created, that if you do these things and you fall in line and you do as you're told and you give up your freedoms, you'll get your freedom in the end. And that one really struck me. It's so true. The people that are just so against us, oh, what freedoms have you lost? Well, I mean, do you want a list? Where are we headed? I mean,
Yeah.
you
We'll
can
make a
do
list. We've got plenty.
line and everything, and then one day when you do wake up and you realize you have no freedom, you can't
Mm,
drive a car because you're not there. All the gas stations are shut down. They don't want any, you know, a certain age of vehicle on the road, and that's, yeah. I mean, to just sit and do nothing and comply with everything, you won't get free in the end. And I thought that sign was really really poignant. I really appreciated that, seeing that.
Compliance also comes with complacency as well. I think the pair of them go hand in hand. Complacency, and the willingness to just not bother taking your own responsibility and just relying on someone else to take care of you as a person and us individuals. I mean, not you per se, but us as individuals, not actually taking any action. Like, for example, I mean, people think to themselves, what can I do? What can I do? The action is too far away from you. Well, it's not that far away. There's a thing called the internet where Rosie's in Canada and I'm sitting in Vietnam, but we're talking about it and we're doing something about it, you know. So it's completely possible, and especially we have to really take advantage of this internet before they try and implement a new form of it. But I think in the future, what's going to happen is there's been talk of multiple different internets starting up. I know that there is a blockchain internet being built in Brazil, blockchain-based internet being built in Brazil. I've also known that the Russians have been building their own internet and their own infrastructure, and so are the Chinese, and probably other nations around the world who are cottoning onto it, places like Africa. They'll soon realize the benefit of having their own internet, you know. But then, of course, there's a double-edged sword all the way. There's a philosophical point of that, how free were we really in the beginning? How free was our communication? But tell you what, compared to what's been going on from 100 years ago, I think the fact that have a big struggle trying to implement all of these changes, the Great Reset, the fact that they have found it very difficult is because of mass communications, the internet. That's it. So we're on the front line.
Right. I think that's one of the biggest things about Bill C-11 that they're trying to pass here in Canada. They're working really hard to do it, to make sure that it goes through. And I mean, they're saying, it's for, we want to battle misinformation and disinformation. And well, even Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand said, you're one source of truth. I mean, what? How can we rely on the government and their media propaganda machine? And
that's straight out of 1984, isn't it?
It is. It really is. I started reading the book and I only got so far into it because it was just like, oh my god, it was so much to take in. It's like, oh man, like he wrote this book how long ago and this is all happening, and it's so obvious to so many people, and then other people completely oblivious. So they really want to control us and what we see. So I think it's great what we're doing here. I think it's fantastic that between organizing the World Unity Food Drive, and raising awareness, because that was something. It was definitely, it snowballed way out of control for them, because all the live streamers, everybody who was sharing what was going on. I mean, that's why I woke up. That's how I woke up. I saw what was happening in Ottawa, and it was nothing what the news was saying, and it was the media. It was their lying that woke me up in the end. So if they can get these bills passed and they can make it harder for us to do what we're doing right now, they're going to make it as hard as they can. And it's exhausting when you think of the fight we have ahead. And I mean, we were only just beginning. But I'm encouraged because in the end we are in this together, and I feel the love from all over. I get a lot of nice messages from New Zealand, and I'm sure you get quite a few too where you are. And then of course in Canada, we're sharing as much as we can, because who knows how long we can do it still.
Exactly. Who knows how long we can do it? And this is the key to getting in there and getting involved. Like I've always said to people, instead of sitting at home and commenting on it, go out to your neighborhood, get your camera out, start filming what's around. All right. So this whole thing with the food bank is that initially it got a small reception, but that was before all of this crap happened with the floods and all of that stuff, right? So now people are realizing that well, it's fortunate that we actually put this in place before we needed it, because now that it's happened, now that there has been large scale northern sort of what they call a state of emergency. Now that there is that, it's a lot easier for us now to just activate it, and we need people to be ambassadors. We need them to open their door and let people drop off goods at them at their locations. Once we get a tally of what we've got over the weekend, then we'll also look at how we can distribute it as well. So, and I'm pretty sure some of those people that have volunteered have also been suffering as well. So it's the thing, it's the ones that have been suffering that are really doing all the work, to be honest, helping the others that are suffering. So this is how it goes for the most part, all throughout society. You know, the poorest, the hardest hit, give each other the most respect at the end of the day. You know, and it just seems that this is the vehicle how we're going to defeat this, our nemesis, a nemesis, actually.
Nemesis
Nemesis.
for nemesis.
Yeah, nemesis, perhaps nemesis.
Nemesis.
Yeah. One would be American and one would be British, I guess. Right. So let me just quickly. Yeah, unfortunately, we have lost connection with our people. So I'm just going to wrap up with some final comments, I guess. How's that? Is that a good idea?
We can reschedule too, and you know what? We could do it another. Well, no, because Wednesdays, your Wednesday is our Tuesday, and your Wednesday is when you've got the time. But we could always see if we can reschedule them for after to see how it happened and how it helped, and maybe we can get some good video for them or by then, because I know for sure that they're going to be doing a lot of live, and it's like a full week, I think. Before kind of winds down and wraps up. But did you want to talk about what's happening in New Zealand for the food drive just quickly? What you were gonna
so we got sorry. Yep. So I'm putting a call out there for people who will become ambassadors, and they can comment on the Facebook page, and they can Facebook me. Message me on Facebook. I also have Telegram. I also have started a small Signal group as well. I tried Gab and all that, but there's a lot of social media networks, and I only have a certain hours of the day that if I go too far wide, then I'm not going to be able to satisfy everybody, but I'm going to be able to satisfy what I can handle in terms of checking all these multiple platforms as one individual. So we're putting a call out for people who will host a drop-off location on Saturday and Sunday throughout the weekend for people that know about the food drive to drop off goodies. And also now that with the flood and all that, they also need clothing, baby clothing, a lot of kids stuff. It's really important to get kids stuff out there. Of course, food, blankets, anything that you think that you would need in a crisis, right? What are the first things that get hit? You know, fresh, clean sheets, towels, bedding, cooking utensils, cooking stuff. Now it started off with a food drive. Now it's just like a humanity drive. You know, so we need all of that. So I'm encouraging people who watch this broadcast to get in touch with me from our Facebook. I'll drop the links in. I'll do that right now.
Just so everyone knows, this is for New Zealand that we're talking about specifically because of the cyclone that's hit. So if there's anything that you can out in New Zealand or get in touch with Jason here, if there's anything you want to do to help the situation there. It's so devastating seeing the footage, the flooding, and the honest to goodness, like giant trees just completely uprooted, like the roots and everything just big. And of course, well, in Canada here too, if you want to go to the World Unity Convoy Facebook pages, got the East going to Winnipeg, and we've also got the West going to Winnipeg. They'll have information there if you want to look into where you can maybe drop off some food donations. When they get to Winnipeg, they'll be distributing it there when they'll be organizing it and going through it when doing the inventory at Campo. And from there, they'll be distributing it to the people, the food banks that are needing it most. So in Canada, we are having the food drive with the World Unity Convoy. So if you want to look into that, absolutely go on Facebook. I believe, Jason, you're gonna
I'm dropping them in right now.
in the links. Fantastic. You're the best, honestly. So yeah, because it is a global thing. Everybody's going to be feeling, empty bellies is coming, and if we can get this nice and organized, and as they keep happening, I mean, the fact that it was 4 weeks ago we organized the World Unity food drive in New Zealand and international, and within weeks now there's a need for it. So it's that we were pre-organized and that we already had people volunteering to be ambassadors. So I can't stress enough how important it is that we look into this. And if we can give, please do. And if you need help, reach out. By all means, reach out. There's a lot of us that are willing, or at least know somebody who can help and put you into contact with somebody or a group that can help you. It's what we can do. That's how we fight the darkness is by being light. So
yeah, by being proactive, by operating offensively instead of defensively. This is the thing, we've got to get out of the victim's mindset, and you've got to be a part of the game. I don't like to put it in such plain terms, but they don't think that we're smart enough to deal with this. But in reality, they're no different to us. Whoever's creating all this chaos, they're very wealthy and they have an unlimited bank account. We don't have that, but we have unlimited intelligence. That's the thing, and we have a workforce which is determined to see this through to the very end, and make sure that we come out smiling on the other side, and that we get what we were promised when we were young about not our ideal life, but we'll get what we were promised. Not just eating bugs, and you won't own anything, and everything you get is rent and all that kind of stuff, and you'll be living on curfews, and if you want to get outside, you got to get permission. No, that's not happening. No way, that's not happening. No way. So there you go. All the links are dropped in there. State of the Nation just dropped in. The international Facebook group link there for Facebook, and also the New Zealand link for Facebook. So get on the website, get on the Facebook, people. If you need the Telegram, I'll pop the Telegram in there too before we turn off the live, so it's registered in there. So I'll pop the Telegram. If you want the Signal, you have to contact me personally via Facebook or Telegram. And I also have WhatsApp now, but I just want to. I'm not going to use that. But if people need a WhatsApp, then they can use one of these avenues. I'll also put my email address in. In fact, I'll put my email address in. jwavejunction. Don't spam it, please. At protonmail.com. protonmail.com. For direct contact. For if you don't have any of those platforms like Facebook or Telegram, for direct email, you can for direct contact. There you go. This is my. I'm not going to put my phone number out because I'm international. There's no point. You're not going to be able to call me. Well, you can if you pay for it, but there's no point. We have free Facebook. We have free Telegram. We have free Instagram. Free Signal. We have free WhatsApp. We have all this free stuff. You don't need to spend money calling me. So, jwavejunction at protonmail.com. And the Telegram is just opening up. There's a Telegram. I'll be popping that in as we go. So, world. Oh, it's right down the bottom. World. Oh my gosh, it's right down the bottom. There you go. World Unity Food Drive International. There's that one. Okay. Now, you got to consider we started this without thinking that we were going to need it. We knew we were going to join the food program. So it took a slow start, but now that all this has unraveled itself, then we're hoping to see a lot more people getting involved. and helping us out there on the ground. If you're on the ground and you have the privilege of being able to help people out, then get in contact us on either Telegram or Facebook.
Yeah,
That is
goes for in Canada as well, because the convoy is collecting food items. So if you can look on the the Facebook groups, if you're either in the east or the west, on the way they have a schedule of all the different towns that they'll be stopping in, and if you're anywhere close to any of those locations and you'd like to donate any food items, just go and meet up with them, or message any of the admins in the group. You can message me, I'll pass it on. I'm sorry, I've been made an admin in the East to Winnipeg World Unity Convoy group. So just reach out and we'll get the information to you if you want. If you want to donate any food items or clothes or anything, they are taking donations. And then of course in New Zealand, there's the Facebook group there. You can reach out to Jason, because yeah, it's terrible what's happening all over, and just the devastation that I've seen just from the cyclone down in New Zealand is heartbreaking. And yeah, and the storms just honestly globally, like as time passes, the storms just seem to get worse and worse and worse and more powerful. And I think it's really important that we keep organizing these good things that bring out the best in us, because helping each other it comes from the heart. And that's something that, you know, the elite or the ones that are trying to make us all suffer, like that's something that they can never take away from us, is our heart and our desire to help our fellow man, because you know that is pretty unstoppable power when you think about it. No wonder they're working so hard and investing so much money into squashing us, because when it comes to the human spirit, you cannot stop the human spirit. We will always rise above any of the darkness. So I'm a firm believer in that. So if you want to help out in any way, just get a hold of either me or Jason, and we will put you in direction or point you in or towards the right direction, and or and put you in contact with anybody that will be able to help. So we fully encourage that, to kind of let this Valentine's Day kind of be about loving your fellow man, and doing what we can, because one thing I noticed, that when I'm feeling really lost and really hopeless and really, you know, it gets depressing. It gets really dark some days. But if you just
it can do.
one kind deed for someone, and it's amazing how it just like it just dissipates darkness, and you realize that, like, okay, you're refocused. So helping your fellow man is absolutely how I believe, you know, we can do this. We pull in together all over the world, everywhere we are, anywhere we are. We just help each other, keep helping each other, and we'll keep the humanity alive in all of us. And be examples too. Be examples. And if we can do it and still be depressed while we do it, and we still help each other out, I firmly believe that, you know,
Might be difficult to be depressed while we're doing it. I think not doing anything is the cause of depression.
It completely counters it. It's like the yin and the yang. You know, you feel in the dark, but then you do a kind deed, you help someone out, and it's just boom, you know.
Yeah, that dopamine. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Before you hit that off button, I got a video teed up here for Papa Hornez.
Okay.
He's got one of our locations. He was unable to make it today, but I've got a video which was made in 2021, and he's been in the food bank system for a while now. He recognized a long time, and this video is about a large fishing company, agriculture and fisheries company, and called Moana Fisheries. And yeah, this is an interview that they did with him as they were helping out in his food drive. So we're hoping to get corporate people in as well, if they catch this, or they get sent these links or anything like that, and if they want to know. We don't have to stop after this weekend. My actual plan was to do this maybe at least once a month, long term. But the first one was going to test it out because and the fact that we need to do it, and we probably need to continue this on a monthly basis at least It depends on our resources, what we have with man hours and that sort of thing. It doesn't take much to text somebody or do a video call. It doesn't cost anything to be in touch with somebody and to arrange something. So we're hoping to make this. I am anyway for the New Zealand run, the New Zealand drive. I'm hoping to make it a regular occurrence every month, at least once a month, and work with these partners down there who are already on the ground that desperately need more help.
Yeah. So this is
Right.
the videos from Papa Jones, one whānau at a time. He's in
That's
New
right.
Zealand.
That's
He's
right.
fantastic. I was really looking forward to meeting him, and I hope he watches this. And I even got all dressed up because I've been watching him for a year now because he was at the Wellington protest in New Zealand a year ago, and he's such a character, and I just loved watching his lives. And so now a year later, that he's coming on board to help out with this, it really means a lot to me. So this video is from New Zealand. This is Papa Jones and his one whānau at a time. Whānau, of course, means family, right? It's Maori for family.
Yes, that's right. Whānau means family.
Whānau.
We're all one big whānau here.
All right, so we'll just put that on there, and go ahead and play that if you want.
We'll let it load up. Now, Papa, he is, we're on a different page, are we? Okay, let me just, stop sharing and reshare. Sorry about that. So while I'm doing that, I will just put some background. So Papa has a food bank operation in Kaitaia, which is all up in north. So this is the cyclone area and the flood devastation area. So we've got Kaitaia. We've also got Kaikohe, which is also in the same area. We also have a potential location in Whangarei. So it's all up the northern area. And we're hoping that through a group that I've got going on, that we've also got South Auckland as well. We've got one less in the Bay of Plenty as well. So we've got a few people up there, but we need to keep getting the word out more and more, and keep getting ambassadors to help us to collect these goods from people who have the means to keep supporting them. So let me just quickly just sprint over there. Here I am there. Present again. And I got to share that screen again. Here we go. Oh, how professional.
Oh, you're awesome. Here we go. Jason. All right. Just waiting for that to pop up here.
Oh. Okay, so that's just called Facebook, that one. And make sure I get the audio. Yes, and we're on Facebook. There we go. There he is.
All right, here you are. I see you.
You got that, huh?
I do. There he is. Oh, there's Papa Jones. All right.
Let's start this.
Let's do it.
Kia ora whānau. My name is Hone Martin. Myself and my partner are the co-founders of Papa Hone's One Whānau at a Time. So anyway, COVID comes along and shuts us down. An old lady, 75 years old, just finished having open heart surgery, messages me and says to me, Hone, I have not eaten for 2-3 days. Could you please help me? So she was pleading for food. I feed this old lady. She tells me there are other kaumātua that need help.
From one meal going out on that Saturday to right now, we're feeding 500 people with fish being donated by Moana Fisheries. And that's incredible, you know, when we've got guys on the boat saying, give us your bank account so we can call Ha'i Tūwhara so you can keep this going, you know?
There is a big need, and it's welcome, this fish, and there's a lot of people that are really happy to receive it. I just get a really uplifting feeling that when this fish goes to the needy and these hungry kids, I know that fish has gone to a good home, and I've caught it. Now they're eating it and they're happy. So it's just really makes me happy that it's going to a good place. Especially us in the fishing industry, we sometimes get a bit of a bad rap, but you know, we're just people like anybody else, and when we see the need, we'll step up and we'll help.
You know, every little bit helps. It's the people are the ones that appreciate it. And when you see that, no, they don't need to say thank you or whatever. You know, they already appreciate it. It's about whānau working together, and for our kaumātua and our mokopuna, because they are our generation that's coming through.
So it's a real privilege to be able to support some of these non-for-profit organisations like One Whānau at a Time, Kaika, the Māori Women's Welfare League, helping our people in need at this time. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do that without our fishermen who are out there every day, doing the business and catching the fish for us.
It's expanding exponentially with the fish that we got from Moana. That first half a tonne that we've got is nearly gone in less than a week. We've been handing it out to marae, to whānaus in need, because what we're putting out there is this kaupapa of you take care of your community by giving. And then that feedback loop starts and people start giving. And then, a few years from now, there should be no one left behind in the far north. No one's going to be hungry. It's about showing our communities that through awhi and love, that we can actually uplift each other and we can look after each other. And there's an abundance up here. There's more than enough to go around.
So when your koha came in of the fish, blew me away. Your fish has gone right across the top of the north. I got given a half a tonne of fish last week. It's just fast forward to today. We got a tonne of fresh fish off you guys today. Very thankful. So today, we are giving out 500 free meals to the Kaitaia community, and they are all fresh fish meals.
Wai ki ngā tāngata katoa, hāngai te atua he ngā kauhau, ki roto, ki tēnā o mātou, whakatonga tau wairua tapu, hei tohu i a mātou i a mahi katoa. Ake. Amen. Amen.
Have an avenue to use all these skills that I've honed in restaurants across New Zealand to give back to my people. It's a blessing. But I've never seen anything with momentum like what's happening here right now. I think that's what differentiates this kaupapa from anything else I've ever seen, is that we get stuff done. There's no talking, this is what's happening, and we go out and do it.
The big vision for us is this: save our children, save our kaumātua, save our whānaus by just being community, and that's what this thing is.
Everybody's hands on deck going, hey, what's the best thing for us? What's the best thing that we can do for us as a people? And when I say people, I don't mean Māori or Pākehā or Indian or wherever you're from. It's people, your tangata is the most important thing.
There's brightness in the far north right now, whānau. And it's not me, it's all of us, All I'm trying to do is keep the light alive, you know what I mean? We do less hui, more doing. That's what we believe in. But one day, I hope this to be bigger, guys. So the vision for us is to be nationwide.
One person can make a change, because it is one whānau at a time, one heart at a time, one mind at a time.
So anyway, that's me. Thank you very much. I got work to do, whānau. I can't sit here all day doing an interview. Ngā mihi.
All right, there you go. Papahones, one whānau at a time.
I love that it applies to Canada too. Like, we are communities. We're, and I love when he said less hui, more dewy. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, less hui, more dewy. Yeah, I like that expression as well. Hui means like conversation and meetings, so less meetings and more doing. So yeah, it's like the old less talk and more walk,
I love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can reschedule him for another time, because I'd love to, talk to him about this. And yeah, sorry about the other guests. With their cell service, it is what it is. We had them on in the backstage, but then suddenly they were gone because they're driving. They're literally convoying right now, so they obviously hit a bad cell service area. And
Not only that, but they're also trying to compromise comms as well. That's a very easy thing to do. Actually, they have their finger on the button, so they can very easily jam a network signal.
so
Yeah. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, of course.
No, none of us are.
Not at all. Not at all.
Conspiracy realists.
But yeah, bad area. So there you go. So for a World Unity food drive this weekend, coming up in New Zealand, and it's already started in Canada. So check out our Facebook links in the comment section, and come on, let's hit it. Let's go New Zealand. Let's go Canada. Let's do it one more time. But this time we're gonna look after the people. There's gonna be, because last time everybody helped the convoyers. Now this time the convoyers are giving it back.
That's fantastic. And it's so encouraging, and I love that it's not just a one-time thing. I love the idea, that we get, the more we do this, the better we'll get at it. So
that's right. Absolutely.
So thank you everyone for joining us on our show tonight, Between Two Flags. Don't forget to, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and if you want to like the video, by all means, that it helps. And put a comment in the actual comment section underneath the video. It helps with the algorithms, and we'll get the word out a bit more. But on that note, I feel really encouraged, honestly. Like all the dark little corners of the room, it's just, I'm feeling a lot lighter. That was good for my heart. I love that video. So thanks again, Jason, for being the amazing co-host that you are. And yeah, thank you everyone who joined us and who commented. And I just want to wish you guys a happy, very happy Valentine's Day. And keep spreading the love, guys. Keep spreading the love. So
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
You take care now, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you next week.